Damn it. Alright, I got the camera straight. Alright, what's up, yins, guys? Time for another video. I saw this on YouTube here, and I want to talk about this because this is an example of the bullshit hypocrisy that I make videos about. I'm going to tell you about this because this is a visual example. I show you a picture of before my video like I always do. I fucking guarantee you, any celebrity stoner or non-celebrity stoner or communist that you see all over the place, all over the actual world, any of those people who want to do away with guns, they don't want to do away with all guns. What they mean is only the local badasses that sell their drugs, that sell them their drugs and want to sell you the drugs, they're allowed to have guns and nobody else. That's their translation. They do not want to do away with all guns. What they always mean, Mr. King of the Streets can have guns and not you. Only the local badasses that sell them their dope can have guns and not you, who they want to be the enforcing class. That to them, the local badasses and people that sell them their drugs, it's acceptable for them to have those people as the enforcing class as opposed to the police, who they constantly bitch about brutality and bitch about them having guns and homeowners having guns. Yeah, there's a reason for that. This is the shit that I preach about, the bullshit, the hypocrisy, and I try not to laugh because this is laughable and bullshit. Other YouTubers are doing this, talking about this guy. They're putting the clip. Okay, they're talking about the clip with Joe Rogan interviewing Tommy Chong of Cheech and Chong fame or whatever the hell. And his stoner mentality about anybody who owns a gun, period, is ignorant and paranoid or whatever. And this was a clip that's clip that's going around. Other YouTubers are talking about, making fun of. It's a clip with Joe Rogan interviewing Tommy Chong, which Joe Rogan called him on the bullshit and just sits there with that look on his face like, oh, fuck you, I'm just gonna believe what I want because I'm a celebrity and I have some of the world, and I think the whole world is on my side. This is the attitude of these people. So I'm doing my take on it. It's an example. I'm going to tell you where this mentality comes from, and Tommy Chong of all people. And not that I'm gonna pick on and single out Tommy Chong. I'm just telling you the clip and with his attitude and his background. Tommy Chong is a classic example of, and I'm not even picking on every single person that smokes the sweet leaf every once in a while either. I'm not going to say every person just is like this, but you get a lot of the old hippie liberal communist types that are like this. And I digress here, but I'm not even saying every hippie's like that. There's the laid back hippies that smoke a little the sweet leaf and drink beer and all that, and they're their own people. It depends where you're at. I'm not even saying every even single hippie is a communist. People call me a hippie, but it's actually a word that, a slur. The word hippie became a slur, you know, just because you had long hair. But once again, I digress. I'm get on with it here. Yeah. Mr. Chong here, he's one of those hippies, those stoner types that you still have now, that they actually go beyond marijuana. They actually side with all the crackheads and all the drug dealers. And where I'm going with this is, he's a celebrity example, a celebrity stoner example, a classic example of when he quotes, oh, nothing's worth anybody's life. If you own a gun, period, you're paranoid. And, oh, and he says, Joe Rogan says, oh, home invasions, they happen all the time, and you need a gun to protect yourself. He tries to fucking say, oh, you don't read about those a lot. Oh, just because he doesn't read about them a lot. Oh, really, you don't? What he actually means, oh, he goes, anybody that says, oh, you don't read about those a lot. What they mean is, just because they don't read about a lot of, other words, they snub at. They just care about their narrative. And the mentality of these people are, because of their stoner background, and that they put crackheads and meth heads and heroin addicts above people that actually have nice houses and nice cars, and they regard them as people that are capitalist, communist, or whatever. These people of his character, there's the reason why that they have this attitude about guns. It's a hypocrisy and a double standard. A very laughable one, because it's so convoluted so convoluted and goofy, and when you call them on the bullshit, that what when they say anybody who owns a gun is ignorant and paranoid, they do not mean everybody that has a gun. When you call them on it, they're always saying the same old shit. A particular demographic of people who own a gun, who they don't like. It's only about people who they don't like has a gun. These types of people, since they're stoners, they stick up for all the dope heads. All the ones that sell them their dope, oh, they can have guns. They're never considered violent. They don't like police under any circumstances. They don't like any legal gun owner protecting themselves under any circumstance. They believe they believe it's acceptable for the local badasses to be the enforcing class, the ones that sell them their drugs. Oh, they can have guns or knives or actually physical violence of other means, to attack people. But, oh, if you get shot, stabbed, or beaten by any of the local badasses that sell them their drugs that they're friends with, that they, oh, you must have brought it on yourself. You must have did something wrong. As opposed to the people who worship police state, that, for example, I'll admit that once in a while you get depending on where you're living at, whether you're into drugs or not, you can have some asshole that's above, thinks he's above you, that has a stick up their ass, maybe that supervisor at some fucking job, worship police state, and they think it's acceptable to get the local badass. Instead of getting the local badasses, get the police to go, if they know a cop somewhere, stop you on the street for some stupid shit to use as a second-rate or third-party way to assert their dominance. The people don't like the police, and the police will do that. People who worship police state will do that shit to you, right? But unlike those people, these people, even if you do drugs, you get some certain wrong people mad at you. Get the local badasses to do the same shit to you they accuse the police of, right? You can talk about this shit till you're fucking blue in the face, and they don't want to listen. They snub it. What it is about is just that. Anybody who talks that kind of shit about gun owners, saying, oh, they're paranoid or nothing's worth anybody's life. Oh, and they believe in being pacifist and minimalist too. Which, yeah, that stoner, old stoner hippie mentality or communist hippie mentality, they even claim to be nonviolent. But like I said, the people who sell them their drugs and the local badasses that have guns, oh, that's different. If you piss any of them off or you offend any of them, you're the aggressor. You did something wrong. You brought it on yourself. But no, oh, they're never violent. It's a double standard. Only the class of people that arm themselves and have guns, like, oh, they're friends that happen to want to rob somebody's house who they believe, oh, has more. They're in league with the capitalists. It's okay for these people, this character, it's okay for their dopehead friends to sneak in a house and filch things or rob somebody at gunpoint because all their victims, this person has more. They're just being selfish and greedy. They have everything because they're selfish and greedy. Yeah, they don't want to have to fear for they don't want to have to fear for the life of their drug buddies when they're trying to filter rob something for their dope, which even though they personally don't do things like that, they have friends that do, because all their friends are the fucking dope heads, and some of them are criminals that may have been caught once or twice or whatever the hell. But when they talk about nonviolence and everything else, they claim nonviolence. It's always about everybody else, but not their drug dealer, drug thug friends. Guaranteed. I'll say once again when I close, they do not mean exactly what they say. When they say everybody who has a gun is ignorant, paranoid, they do not mean everybody. They mean everybody except their drug dealer friends, the ones that sell them their dope. And I'm talking about the ones that have the history of being the stoner dopers. They don't like anybody that has more stuff or money than them defending their house when maybe a few of their lower level buddies need money to get high and they want to rob somebody's house. Oh, they can't have, oh, that ain't right. Nothing's worth anybody's life, even if the other person has a gun or whatever. But if you got this far too, I'll bring up again, Mr. Chong talks about, oh yeah, you don't read about that much. Well, George Floyd, the guy that people did mass violent destruction and burning shit down over, he previously did time for pointing a gun at a pregnant woman and her unborn baby. Put the gun to the stomach of that pregnant woman's baby, which some YouTuber said that the victims of that scenario were Latino. You know, even in the beginning, I didn't know the race of them, but those people, really, George Floyd should have been shot by the homeowner, maybe the husband and her boyfriend of the pregnant woman. George Floyd should have been shot by somebody in that house, or if not shot, have his skull beaten in by a lamp and have it a clear case of self-defense, okay? And had that happened, that should have happened, other than the him dying by the hands of the police, the way it did. And yes, the police should have took him in. But yeah, I digress here. But yet, I wanted to make sure if anybody got this far in this video that nothing's worth anybody's life. But yeah, these people want you to just they're minimalist too. All they care about is their drugs. But the celebrities will buy into this shit. Anybody who is anybody who is a stoner or drug user to a certain extent, who has beliefs like this, they're the kinds that they're minimalist because they care more about drugs, cigarettes, and different things like that. And oh, you're selfish. Yeah, you should be doing drugs with us and giving up your money to their local drug daddy instead of being so selfish. And then, yeah, you want to have a gun to protect yourself too. Your life and property doesn't matter. Just like, in the George Floyd scenario too. The life and well-being of a pregnant woman and her baby didn't matter, but yeah. But those pro-abortion activists who rioted, didn't give a shit about a pregnant woman or a baby, but they gave oh, they were sure such an outrage when a thug and a home invader who did time for what he did, yes, who wasn't even worth burning down and doing violent acts of vandalism for. That's just a little extra shit, you know, that I wanted to stick in there too for this video. That I meant to be a shorter video, but oh well.